thought you said go, Bo, go.
Go,
I thought you
Bo,
said
go.
go, Bo, go. I thought you said go, Bo.
That's why we are here today. Go, Bo, go. And some more exciting news about an injury that has come up 2 days in a row that may or may not impact the Broncos-Ravens games. That's what we are here to talk about. Welcome to your breaking news or your exciting news from the Orange and Blue Network. This is Orange and Blue Fresh Squeeze. I am the Bronco Gentleman, Isaiah Henderson. You can follow me here at Twitter at the Bronco Gentleman. I'm one of the co-founders of the Orange and Blue Network. Guys, this is where you come for your breaking news. Anything that happens, any news that comes out, any updates and things like that, this is where we come for it all. Quick, fast, in a hurry. This is what we hear. It could be short, it could be long. Depends on you guys. It depends on us. It depends on the news. Let's see how long we are going to talk about this, and let's see how important it is, because we got some things to talk about. Johnny's texting me in the chat. So, guys, before that, if you were here from MHRT, go ahead over to Orange and Blue Network. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends and family. And if you guys are here from the Orange and Blue Network, go ahead and over to the MHRT network. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share theirs as well. Right there, guys. Boom. Let's see. Talking about the orange and what is he talking about? The solo layout. There we go. All right, guys. Bo Nix, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Month. We fought hard. We came through. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that everybody wants to talk about. Everybody wants to say, oh, well, it's the schedule. Didn't you guys say that Broncos have the worst roster in the NFL? Didn't some of you guys predict that the Broncos were going to pick first in the draft? So before the season, you had predicted that every single team we played would be better. Would be better than us. So here we are, 5-3, 5 more wins. Five more wins than anybody predicted. And now everybody wants to talk about schedule. Everybody wants to talk about schedule. But before the season started, but when the draft happened, and before the season started, it was they have the worst roster. I can't see them getting 1 or 2 games. They may be competitive against the Panthers. That's what I heard. That's what I was told. All of a sudden now, who we play is an issue. PFF had our defensive line ranked 31st in the NFL. Defensive line 31st, worst roster. We overreached on the pick on a quarterback. You can't see us. You see us being competitive with the Panthers. Here we are, 5-3, second in the AFC West. A huge nationally televised game against the Ravens coming up. It's not prime time, but it's nationally televised. Both teams 5-3, both have a record. Here we are. Sean Payton, Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos, Vance Joseph in that defense. And here we are, 5-3. And Bo Nix, over the month of October, has proved himself to be the best rookie quarterback in the NFL. Over Jaden Daniels. Salute, Mahi, salute Cameron Parker. Over Jaden Daniels, over Caleb Williams. And here's the thing: this is a award that is not fan picked. This isn't fan chosen. This isn't the Sprite rookie of the week or Pepsi rookie of the week. I'm sorry. This is actually the actual NFL. Cam says they said they would be under 5 wins. Top 5 pick. Bo Nix is the worst quarterback of the bunch. Called him Taylor Heineke type. How about now? Where y'all at now? Talk our stuff, Broncos Country. Talk our stuff, Broncos Country. Let them have it. I see Broncos Country all over Twitter. Just letting them have it. And here we got the Bo Nix and the Broncos offense. The Broncos team has finally gotten the recognition that we deserve this year. Bo Nix has played a hell of a game. Let me see if I have his stats pulled up right here, so we can go ahead and read these off. Just to know, because he's first among all rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. In October, Bo Nix led all rookies in offensive touchdowns with 9. Passing scores, 7. Completions, 82. Completion percentage, 66.7%. Passing yards, 870. That was his month of October. And so we had the first 2 games where, it looked rough. And then and then we had the Tampa Bay game, which nobody likes to talk about. Nobody likes to talk about the Broncos beating the crap out of the Tampa Bay game. They try and discredit our schedule, but nobody wants to talk about the offensive powerhouse that Tampa Bay is when healthy. And if you go down their schedule, who they face, there's one outlier. There's one anomaly. It's week 3 against the Denver Broncos when we came in their trap and we took over their trap. And that's what we did. Mile High Viking, what's up, Johnny? He says, Bo Nix getting his just desserts. Now on to Offensive Rookie of the Year. Here's the thing, Johnny. I tweeted this earlier. If we beat the Ravens, if Bo Nix takes a step and grows on the foundation he laid down, so the Carolina game was the foundation laid down from the Tampa Bay game. So he built on the Tampa Bay game. Now it's time to build on that Carolina game. And the Baltimore Ravens secondary is worse than Carolina secondary. Now they did get their rookie cornerback Nate Wiggins back, and I think they did get Marlon Humphreys back. He is practicing this week. So they are getting pieces of their secondary back. But if you can go out there and play call, and here's the issue. Here's the issue with the Ravens defense that I've been hearing so far is that losing Mike McDonald not only was big in this, not necessarily the scheme, but the communication. So there's a huge lack of communication, huge amounts of confusion going on within the Ravens secondary, which is causing them to have they give up 29.5 points per game. That's almost second or third worst in the NFL. So then you get Sean Payton, who offensive scheme is going to come in there and he's going to attack this weak secondary. He's definitely going to attack their weak secondary. And there's been some questions because there's some questions about their run defense. You know what? I don't know. Do we have? Let's see if we have a. Let's see. Do we have the perfect sound for it? This isn't a hot take. Let's see. I want like an alarm because I am putting the Ravens defense. No, we don't have it. We got to get one. I'm putting the Ravens defense on fraud alert. Their run defense. I'm putting the Ravens defense on fraud alert. Because I don't think their defensive line is that good. You know, Roquan Smith is third in the NFL in tackles, but I think that's because the defensive line is not that good. They don't get pressures. They don't get to the quarterback often. They don't get pressures across the entire defensive line. So how is it that the secondary is weak, the defensive line can't get pressures, your linebacker has a lot of tackles, but yet you have the number one run defense in the NFL? So then that makes me question, okay, why is it that they have the number one run defense in the NFL? Is it because, and then if you go back and you look at the teams they play and how that worked out, is because they start running the ball against the Ravens. Well, do they start running the ball because the Ravens defense is good? No, it's because their secondary is bad. And people like a passing lead, especially against the Carolina Panthers. And if the statistics say that the Baltimore Ravens secondary is worse than the Carolina Panthers, why wouldn't you pass on it? Because we saw what Sean Payton and Bo Nix did with the secondary and no pressure against the Carolina Panthers. That's what the same type of defense that the Baltimore Ravens have. And here's the thing. It's not like the Broncos aren't used to going into games where their run defense can't get it going. This isn't the first game where we've gone in where the run defense possibly may not, and we have to throw it a little bit more. This isn't the first time for that. So I'm definitely putting the Baltimore Ravens on run defense because if you look at the film, I'm thinking that teams are just choosing to tear up that secondary because through 8 weeks, they have the worst secondary in the NFL. They're giving up almost the most points. So even if they're stopping the run, teams are able to tear them apart in the air. So I heard, Sean Payton definitely talked about, time of possession, keeping the ball, keeping them on the sideline, send them on the field. And that's going to take the run game. Keeping them on the field is going to include the run game. And so if the run game can get going, because, I believe the Broncos should come in there with a chip on the shoulder, not just the defense, which we're going to talk about, because, man, are we underdogs this week. # underdogs. Where's it at? Where is it at? Yes, guys, # underdogs. We're not just underdogs. We're underdogs. Throughout offense and defense alike. We're underdogs. So # underdogs. But I think the offense should go in with a chip on their shoulder as well, because if you're listening to the national media, number one, the Broncos-Ravens is the largest spread in the entire week in the NFL. That's insane. This is how insane it is. The Jets are favored over the Texans, but the 5-3 Broncos are favored 10 points, 9.5 points to lose to the Ravens. So they're already thinking, they're already doubting the defense and saying, well, that's the number one yards per play offense and the number one yard per play defense. They're already saying, well, I think the Ravens have 30. They're already doubting the defense, saying, doesn't matter. You guys haven't given up 30. We don't care. This is going to happen this time. Number one. So they're doubting the defense. And number two, they're doubting the offense because the secondary is horrible, worse than Carolina, with no pass rush. Bo Nix is the best quarterback in the NFL in avoiding pressure. The Broncos' offensive line is the best pass protecting offensive line in the NFL. Week in, week out. And yet they're saying, you're not going to be able to put up points against the Baltimore defense, which is horrible. So we're definitely #underdogs. Appreciate that like, guys. We're definitely underdogs. But it's not just the Broncos side, because not only is Bo Nix the rookie of the month, but here for October, here's the first game in November. Let it not be a fluke. Build up on what you did last time. Go back in there like you did. Set your feet. Be patient in the pocket like you were. Go through your reads. I mean, the kid looked good. I'm calling him a kid, but I'm older than him. Yeah, I'm several years older than him. So yeah, the kid looked good. Best game. Go ahead and on national TV, go ahead and tear him apart like that. We're #underdogs. He's got that swagger and he's got that dog in him too, where he doesn't care. He's gonna come in your trap and take over your trap. He does not. He's gonna run. He's gonna decide. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Payton came in and decided to show off his running quarterback in Lamar Jackson's home, just because that's who Sean Payton is. But speaking of running backs and running quarterbacks, if you guys saw today, it just came out maybe maybe about 35, 40 minutes ago. The dream squeeze. Hey, got some orange juice in the cup, y'all, because it's a fresh squeeze. Mile High Viking says, Lamar Jackson out of practice 2 days in a row. Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper have to be salivating right now. No, sir. Johnny, yes, the first part of your statement is true. The second part is false. No, they're not thinking about Lamar Jackson not being there. We're focused on our preparation and Lamar Jackson being there. Because if you prepare for Lamar Jackson being there, there's no one on the roster that's better than him. So if you prepare for him and he's not there, guess what? You've already prepared for the best, and you're also prepared for the worst. So we're definitely looking good. Cameron Parkin comes in and says Bo Nix looked like cough Drew Brees. He definitely did. Baldy in this film talked about the what do you call it? The leap, the Drew Brees leap over. And you can definitely see Sean Payton's been talking to him and Bo Nix has been watching film, and it seems to work. He takes care of the ball. And also, nobody's mentioned it. Nobody talked about how high he jumped off of off the ground. He jumped really high. Johnny comes in and corrects himself. He says, I meant salivating on the prospect of eating Lamar alive. Jeez, dude. Hey, man. Sorry, dude. Got to be specific here on Fresh Squeeze. Can't have no pulp in there. Yes, you're right. Nick Bonito, 6 sacks in a row. He's now top 10 in the NFL in sacks. Jonathan Cooper is right there in the next rung at 5.5 sacks. So they're definitely in competition. Nick Bonito has the hot hand right now. They're looking good. They are looking good. And I think that defense is going to come in hungry. That defense is going to come in hungry because the key is stopping Derrick Henry. If you've heard everyone say across the Broncos Ravens preview so far this week, all the podcasts, all the social media, everyone's talking about it. Every game that Derrick Henry has 100 yards or more, they win. When he doesn't, they either lose or they don't do as well. So the key is stopping him regardless of what everyone else does. Trust your secondary, stack the box. I think this is a very, very, very big Quan Alexander game. I think this is a game where Quan Alexander comes in and gets to make that pop. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 3 linebacker sets. If you took out you have some, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Barton, Quan, and Sternad. You got Sternad there to cover up Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. And then you're trusting the island of Patmos. You're trusting the island of Patmos. You got Pat Surtain and Riley Moss over there on the island of Patmos, and then you're trusting those two man to man. Johnny said, better be pulp, Isaiah. Fresh squeeze, not Sunny D. Man, you called me out because it's definitely Sunny D. I went to Walmart. It's definitely Sunny D. But Sunny D is delicious. So, Rob, what's up, Rob? He said, what's shaking, my guy? Let's go. Let's bow, because he is October Rookie of the Month. That's insane, because everybody talked about Jaden Daniels. Everybody's talked about him. And you know what? Here's the reason why. Okay, this is why everybody's talked about Jaden Daniels. It's because they don't like Caleb Williams because they think he's soft. They didn't like Caleb Williams coming out of college, and everybody wants Caleb. A lot of people wanted Caleb Williams to fail. That was obvious, so they're not going to root for him. And then you get number 2, which is Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, there's a lot more SEC fans too. Jaden Daniels came from LSU. I get it. And then you get the rest of the picks. Michael Penix, not playing. Drake May came in late. Patriots suck. JJ McCarthy got hurt. And then you got the one that everybody rooted against that nobody said was going to be a first-round pick. Why would they root for him now? Everyone said he wasn't going to be a first-round pick. By now talking about him, they all would have to admit they were wrong. No, they're not going to switch like that. No. Instead of admitting they're wrong, they're just going to slowly move the goalposts into their right. Cameron comes in and backs me up. He goes, hey, there's nothing wrong with Sunny D. Thank you. There's nothing wrong with Sunny D. It's delicious. Plus, they had the best commercials anyway. But I do enjoy orange juice, and I do enjoy orange juice with pulp. Neither one bother. Pulp doesn't bother me. It's probably one of the only drinks that I'd like to chew on. It's a natural smoothie. It's delicious. So Lamar Jackson, they're getting a couple guys back for the Ravens. And then Lamar Jackson may or may not play. But, yeah, these guys have to be salivating. They're hit and miss with the protection. They have an all-pro left tackle, Ronnie Staley, who is on a contract year as well. He would be one of the top free agent left tackles. The top 2 free agent left tackles this year would be Garrett Bowles and Ronnie Staley. That's why I believe we should extend Bowles. I think the Broncos would do the same as well. I think the Ravens would do the same as well with Ronnie Staley. They'll extend him. But, we blitz at a high rate, and we can cover our lanes. I think if we put a spy, I think we can still do the same blitzing, because I think if we trust our secondary and you put a spy on Lamar Jackson, if you're going to blitz, I absolutely think we can actually get to him, especially with the 4-man rush. Their interior offensive line is strong, but not as strong in pass protection. They will give up sacks. Lamar Jackson in himself is great at avoiding sacks, but what helps the Broncos is definitely our secondary. It's definitely our secondary in getting those covered sacks. So I think if you can stop them on first and second down, that's what Vance Joseph is focusing on. That's what he's focusing on is those covered sacks. It's, hey, those first down and second down, then you get those covered sacks. Hey, on first down, second down, if we hold them to 1-2 yards, if we can get them in a 3rd and 6 and a 3rd and 7 and longer, keep them behind the sticks, then we can get our defensive chance. That's when we can really show up. They have a quick twitchy guys with Zay Flowers, and he's got Deontay Johnson. I'd be surprised how much he plays. I don't know how much the John Harbaugh playbook is huge for receivers. But they're definitely going to put him in there. It's definitely going to be in there. But I think the Broncos with our defense is going to come in with their chip on the shoulder, because right now they're not saying it, but they're kind of putting the Broncos defense on fraud alert, and I don't think they like that, especially with 9.5. I think the spread is 45 points, and we're 9.5 points underdogs. So I mean, you can do the math. They're definitely calling the Broncos defense frauds. And I don't like that. I don't think they like that either. And they're not even calling our offense frauds. They're just not even calling them a factor. So I expect Sean Payton and Bo Nix to come in there with a chip on their shoulder. And that's the thing. I think that's why they're so close, and that's why they're so good on the road. And they can go in there and beat Tampa Bay. We can go in there and beat the Jets. We can go in there and beat New Orleans. Is because like I said, everybody said we had the worst D-line, the worst roster. We'll have a top 5 pick. Bo Nix shouldn't have been picked. We picked him too high. Sean Payton panicked. Nobody knows what they're doing. And so every game we were supposed to lose. And yet that's not the case. And so especially this game midway through the season, it's the same way. And so we're just going to go into Baltimore, and we're just going to give it to them. So, guys, that's the breaking and exciting news we have today on Fresh Squeeze. Guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this with your friends and family. If you are here from MHRT, go ahead over to Orange and Blue and do that. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and all those. And if you guys are here from MHRT, if you're here from Orange and Blue, go ahead over to MHRT, like their videos, subscribe to their channels, and go ahead and hit those notification bells so that way you won't miss any more breaking or exciting news, because I'm hoping that this won't be the last time Fresh Squeeze comes up. Cameron Parker says, Nick Benito spying on Lamar Jackson. I agree with that. Let's have I believe you can do some type of 4-down set where you have Lamar Jackson drop back and spy, because he's definitely the speedy pass rusher. You get used to you get used to him speeding off the edge, and then all of a sudden now you got to see him dropping back into coverage. He did that with Baker Mayfield. I think he did that with Baker Mayfield in the game against Tampa Bay. So I definitely expect to see that. So it's definitely going to be a coaching game. And make sure you guys look out for special teams too. Look out for special teams. The Broncos, once again, 2 years in a row, have a top 3 special teams unit. That's not always talked about. So watch out for special teams where those, Riley Dixon is the number 1 punter in the NFL when it comes to punts inside the 20-yard line. I think there's 6 this year. If I'm correct, that number may be off. All I know is that he has 3 of them, and he leads the NFL. So look out for special teams. Look out for Marvin Mims to maybe break a punt return for a touchdown. Defense is going to come out with a chip on the shoulder. I want to see special teams come out there and make a play. I want to see special teams come out there and make a play. Guys, this was a wonderful Fresh Squeeze episode. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell because this is our breaking news show, breaking and exciting news show, like Offensive Rookie of the Month and Lamar Jackson missing practice 2 days in a row. That can be a game changer. Because that means that's if Lamar Jackson isn't there, we're going to practice and prepare as if he is. But if game day comes, you sell out more for the run than you would before. Now, their backup quarterback, I believe, is Josh Johnson, who's been taking snaps so far. Josh Johnson can move, but Josh Johnson isn't Lamar Jackson. So then the playbook shrinks. The playbook shrinks a little bit, but with Vance Joseph, the playbook grows. So expect to see that, and then with that the case with when getting out scoring fast, and if we can score fast, the defense can pin their ears back, and then Sean Payton also can open up the playbook against that secondary some more and really put on a show. We got Tony, I think it's Tony Romo and Iron Eagle announcing on CBS, nationally televised. Speaking of that, guys, this Sunday there will not be a Get Buck Game Day show. There will not be a Get Buck Game Day show. There will be a neighborhood show on MHRT Network, and there will be a Buck Your Feelings post-game show. But there will not be a Get Buck Game Day show this week. I'm the host of that show, but on noon games, I'm at church, and I'm not able to host those. And then Johnny is also at church, so he won't be able to host that as well. So far this season, when we don't have the show, it's because it's their noon games, and Johnny and I are at church. So just want to announce that. But there will be the neighborhood, and there will be a Buck Your Feelings post-game show. Guys, I'm going to give you a mile high salute. Mile high salute to Bo Nix. Let's get it going one more time. First off, let's give a round of applause to the Broncos. So far, mid-season, we're coming into this game. And so far, the Broncos have just beat So round of applause. And then, just a specific one.
I thought you said go, Bo, go.
And I expect to see that against the Ravens. Guys, a mile-high salute to you guys. We will see you on the neighborhood here on these exact networks. Don't forget to like these videos, subscribe to the channel, and share this with your friends and family. Hit that notification bell, guys, and we will see you next